This is TechCrunch. The music distribution platform Bandcamp announced in a Reddit post on Tuesday that it is banning AI-generated music and audio. The company said, "We want musicians to keep making music and for fans to have confidence that the music they find on Bandcamp was created by humans." Bandcamp's new guidelines state that music and audio generated wholly or in substantial part by AI is not permitted and that it will not allow the use of AI tools to impersonate other artists or styles. So, if Drake had released tailor-made freestyle on Bandcamp, he would have had a problem, and maybe it would have been for his own good. As AI music generators like Suno become more sophisticated, it's become harder to avoid synthetic music. Songs created with AI tools have topped charts on Spotify and Billboard. AI music now sounds real enough that it can be difficult to decipher how it was made. In one high-profile example, Talisha Jones, a 31-year-old in Mississippi, used Suno to turn her supposedly organic poetry into the viral R&B song How Was I Supposed to Know? Her AI persona, Zania Monet, received multiple bids for record deals before signing with Hallwood Media in a deal reportedly worth $3 million. The legality of AI-generated music is up in the air. Suno is currently facing lawsuits from major labels Sony Music Entertainment and Universal Music Group, which allege the company trained its AI on copyrighted material from the labels. This has not deterred Silicon Valley, though. Suno raised a $250 million Series C round in November, which valued the company at $2.4 billion, while the raise was led by Menlo Ventures. Suno saw participation from Hallwood Media, the company that backed Zania Monet. The legal outlook doesn't look good for artists. In a recent lawsuit, a judge ruled that Anthropic could use copyrighted books that it downloaded illegally to train its AI. What was illegal, the judge said, was that Anthropic pirated the books that it fed into its AI models. The company got a $1.5 billion slap on the wrist, which is not very significant for a company that's valued at $183 billion. Unlike Spotify or Apple Music, Bandcamp doesn't pay artists per stream. Instead, Bandcamp allows artists to sell their music digitally alongside physical products like merch and CDs. Bandcamp only makes money from its cut of artist sales, but even if it presents itself as an artist-first distributor, a tech company is still a tech company, and the bottom line matters. Looking at Bandcamp's move optimistically, perhaps the company is confirming what artists hope to be true. No one is actually spending money to buy AI-generated music. At least, not on Bandcamp. According to sources familiar with the deal, TechCrunch has learned that fusion power startup Type 1 Energy recently raised $87 million. And according to sources, and then later confirmed by the company, this new funding is a convertible note that brings the total venture investment in the startup to more than $160 million. Type 1 is also in the midst of raising a $250 million Series B at a $900 million pre-money valuation. Like other energy startups, Type 1 has benefited from a surge in demand from data centers and the broader electrification of the economy. Data centers are expected to use nearly 3 times more electricity by 2035, while overall electricity demand is forecast to grow by 4% annually through next year. Fusion power could deliver gigawatts worth of nearly limitless clean power. The reactors work by fusing atoms, which release tremendous amounts of heat and energy in the process. Power plants harvest that heat to spin turbines, similar to today's fossil fuel facilities, but without the pollution. Unlike fission, fusion reactors don't produce significant amounts of radioactive waste. They also do not pose a risk of catastrophic meltdowns. Now, there are 2 main approaches to fusion power. There's magnetic confinement and inertial confinement. Now, in magnetic confinement, magnets compress and control plasma, the superheated particles that ultimately fuse into new atoms. In inertial confinement, fuel pellets are compressed until they fuse, most often using lasers. Type 1 will employ magnetic confinement, and the design is what's known as a stellarator. In a stellarator, magnets are arranged in a donut shape that's twisted and turned according to the demands of the plasma. Previously built stellarators have been able to control plasma for long periods of time, though none have been built yet with the intention of producing power. Now, last year, Type 1 signed deals with the Tennessee Valley Authority to place the startup's first commercial power plant at the site of the former Bull Run fossil plant, a coal-fired power plant that was retired back in 2023. Infinity 2, as the power plant is called, is expected to generate 350 megawatts of electricity and could come online in the mid-2030s. Unlike many other startups, Type 1 is not planning to build the power plants or reactors itself and sell the power. Instead, the company will sell key technology to the Tennessee Valley Authority and power providers who will build, own, and operate the plants. Type 1 had previously raised a $29 million seed round in 2023 that was extended to a total of $82.5 million in 2024. Investors in that round included Bill Gates' Breakthrough Energy Ventures, Doral Energy Tech Ventures, and TDK Ventures. That's it from TechCrunch. For more stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.